Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty, and Azalea. She's
Hello.
behind the camera. Hello, my friends. We are hanging in there. There's actually no snow for us here in Asheville, not on our side of the town. At least we didn't see any snow. How's everybody else doing? We had kind of a one of those days where seemed like it was a snow day, even though it's a Sunday, so it kind of felt weird.
Everybody else is taking a snow day.
Yeah, it was a snow day for us, but it was sort of sleet. I don't know about everybody else. I see Nilda here. I see a morphing design. Tech issues are having too much fun. You know, setting everything up took me a minute because I changed in my mind like 3 different times what I wanted to show. So that's what happened today. Hello, Terry. Hello, Cecilia. And everybody's on time except for me. I'm like 5 minutes behind schedule today. It took me a minute to set up. I was like, I've got everything set up, and then I looked around and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't set up the camera, the stands. There was like 5 things I didn't set up. So for me, it was, when I looked around, I was like, oh, that's what I'm forgetting to do. I thought I was done. Goofy, so goofy. So listen, here's what I've been doing. I don't know what everybody else has been doing, but I texted a picture of this to Anne, I think last night. She was reminding me, maybe it was the other day, she was reminding me, hey, don't forget there's storms coming and move your cars to inside, but there's nowhere for me to put them. And, look at this. So I was looking for the camera. I put this little button, and I bought these beads in Tucson last year. These tube beads, they're silver and brass, I think. And I put this together the other night of hand carved stones that I carved and some that my friend Derek Luss carved. The sunstone here, this is from his mine, but this is like premium grade that he cut. The big one in the middle is one I cut, and then there's one he cut. So some of them, and then I found this in Franklin and I cut it. It's a little piece of kyanite. Anyway, I made it the other day. I'm going to use it as a layering piece. I see Allie snowed in Pennsylvania. Morphing Designs is having a nice day. Shannon says, happy Sunday. Glad you have power with all the storms. Yeah, everything seems chill. We took a walk earlier and it was really strangely balmy outside. It's really nice. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Clem. Hello, Connie. Safe and warm here. Okay, let's move this because you know what? I'm having to peek through. I've got like a jungle of cords and a big jungle of things to look past and through. So here, Marty. He's not a fan of this thing.
It's the same color.
The same color. Look, you guys, the same as of a marmoset monkey. I got this because I had decided I wanted one of those marmoset monkeys after visiting this little weird petting farm in Pennsylvania, and I was like, why do I want these monkeys? It's so weird because they're really small. They're like that size, and they were looking at me, and I felt like this weird desire to have them all over the house. I don't know why. But then Greg was like, no, we're not getting tiny monkeys for the house. That's not going to happen. And so I got that stuffed animal. And it helped, And I walked around from it. Before you guys think I'm truly weird, I walked around with like this. It has a wire on its arm. And the other day, and he was like, why are you so weird? And before that, we were saying, Azalea and I were both saying, what about Dondas? How many of you have seen Gladiator 2? Well, in Gladiator 2, one of the emperors has a little tiny monkey, and that little tiny monkey wears clothes, and his name is Dondas. And he causes the fall of these emperors. Because Denzel Washington just had to say, what about Dondas? And Azalea kept saying that back and forth to each other. Because I could relate. I know the emperor was like brain damaged.
Easily manipulated because of his love for that monkey. His mom and I were making jokes that Marty is our Dondas.
Marty is our Dondas. So there, you guys, if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. Oh, Karen says, love that necklace. Thank you. It's you might not guess this, but this collection of necklaces is probably pretty expensive. because of the pendants and things I have on. I'm going to show it here in a second. Pamela says, happy to hear you guys were spared from this storm. Yes, that was like, it felt so nice to go outside this morning and not have like slipping and sliding up the driveway. It was a really steep driveway, and I'm glad we didn't have to deal with that. Hello, June. Hello, Melanie. Hello, who else is joining us? I see Pamela. Hello, friends. It's like today Melanie says, I love Marty's tie. I keep hitting things on the computer today, and it's like doing things where it's changed this into like dark mode, and I'm like, now I can't see it. Azalea, what did I do?
Oh, I think you just selected the text by accident.
I went and made dark mode on.
Wait, how did you manage to do this?
I don't know.
Why is it dark now?
I'd make dark mode on that.
Oh no, I don't know how to fix this.
So anyway, I was making these. Some of this is glass beads. I'm going to show y'all. It was pretty fun. I've been interested every few 6 months or so. I'll make myself a new necklace of power necklace to change. Just because you need different stones at different times. So
what?
Thank you, Debbie. Very different because these are all like they're made to be like they're supposed to be the pendant charm or like pendants for focals, but I put them all together.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You must have clicked it in a way that it didn't like. I think it's normal now.
Okay, so I made it where there was no, you can barely see the text, but it's fine. He's gonna help me get this. He's like, here, you can have a little bit of treat now and then some later.
Those big paws are crazy. So ultra handsome. Big cat.
Yeah, let's see if he can stand. He's standing.
He said, now stop.
He's helping me. See, he's a big appa mouth. Ann says, how's everything going? Shocked to see you tonight. Clem says, you have to admire Marty's focus. He knows what the priorities are. He does.
True.
Carolyn says, those gem necklaces are totally your look, Cynthia. Lovely. Thank you. Here, you missed a spot. Right here. Here, I'll do a little refill. He's been patient. You don't have to jump on the table to get it. He's
I was ready now.
He's not in the mood to wait around. Oh, sleet day in Charlotte. There was a little bit of sleet today, I think. Marty is dressed sharp and ready. Yeah, he's got a little bit on your muzzle. He's really tilting his head.
Getting everything.
Marty, your muzzle.
He'll find out about it.
Yeah, he'll have a surprise later. Okay, I think you got it. Look, oh no. He's like, no, I didn't get it. Oh, thank you. Nilda says, love the necklace. Yeah, these are, I put them together. I did a little bit of an ombre, and I think it looks pretty good. But what I really was interested was getting a good stone mix. I know some might think that's all like made up, but I feel like everything has. All right, here, back up a little. He's breathing that chewer. He's like, I still think some is in there. There is, but we're gonna have to get to it in a minute. All right. Oh, I see Wendy. Wendy says, hi, everyone. Stuck at the hospital tonight as I'm working the next 2 days. That's too bad. But you get to hang out with us, so that's still good. I'm glad I'm glad everyone could be here tonight. That's good times. All right, we've given it about 10 minutes. Let's flip this camera around and let's talk about some things. He just got me with, my neck has what was on his muzzle. A little bit of my solid perfume this evening will be chicken with scallop recipe. Very savory. All right, here we go. Let's get in here. What about Dondas? God, I gotta stop saying that. Here it is. There's Dondas. We renamed this monkey. It's a neat little stuffed animal made in the Philippines for part of my people are located. My kin. Oh, okay. Well, check this out. This was a pretty good find. So this, I got this up in the estate sale. I just bought it because it was pretty cool. It's a humidor, which is what they use to keep cigars humid, I guess, keep it nice and fresh. But look at that bird's eye maple. I thought it was really pretty. I think it was like, I don't know how much I paid for it. Maybe $2, $6. I don't know. But Greg looked it up and he was like, it has the guy's name and it's like like the whole hinge and everything is really precise. And the maker's mark was on. He looked it up and it's like $300 box. Couldn't hardly believe it. It's a good day for me. So it's really kind of shallow, but it's good. I put that little piece of wool felt in here, and it's a perfect little beading tray. All right, check out this. You guys want to see something good? Got a couple of these. This one is beads that I made. Mostly I made, I think. Most of them. Majority are ones I have carved. Some of them I did not carve. This I did not carve. And this is called a turtle agate. And this is definitely like a middle, like a, kind of a centerpiece bead. It is drilled through the sides here. It has this neat pattern. Let's get in there a little tighter so you can see. Okay, I'm going to take these necklaces so if you can see. All right, so I made this the other night, and felt pretty good. These are the ones I was telling about. That my friend Derek Lusk, he is the husband of Leah Fairbanks. You guys might remember Leah. That's a world-class bead maker. Kind of made those garden beads, in the mid-2000s. Really beautiful work. So her husband Derek, I don't know if they still have a mine in Oregon, but they mine sunstones in Oregon, and this is from his mine, like these three here. And this one was too. I bought rough, and I cut this one myself. This was like more of a considered B grade because it's opaque. It's not a see-through because this gem you want to see. If you look, really good pieces are clear, or they should be clear. And those are kind of drop pieces. They're kind of interesting. They have a neat chatoyance to them. Like it's like that coppery. It's really beautiful. This one here has a lot of flash. You can see that pink flash. That's what it's known for. And in that region, you get that kind of gem material, really high. I mean, they sell that by the carat weight. This one was by the gram weight, and it was kind of a little bit, not that much bigger. Usually they'll say you could take off like 40%. I didn't take that much. That's why this has more of the stone showing, I guess you'd say. I didn't take as much as I could have to make it really smooth. I kind of liked the rough faceting, but it's not too hard of a stone, so it was easy to cut. These were all pretty easy to cut, except for this is a piece of tourmaline, and this is also tourmaline, two different colors. You can see it's like a party color. That means the dual color. This is a little piece of kyanite. I dug that out of a creek in Franklin, and I drilled it on the side. This was pretty soft, and really easy to grind on the grinding wheel. This, I don't know if you can see this, but it's moldavite. I left some of the character of the meteor. It's not actually the meteor. It's the sand from where the meteor has landed in the desert. So if it's Libyan desert glass, that is where a meteor landed in Libya and made, let's see if I have a piece of it. I think that might be a piece here. No, that's sunstone. I might not have a piece of that handy. But that's the moldavite. If it's from that region, it has a really super dark green. It's really cool. And it's pretty easy to cut. This is a blue topaz, Swiss blue topaz. And I gave it kind of this you buy it by the gram too. So I took as little as I could off of it. I didn't want to make it where I'm losing material. So I will remake my necklaces pretty, every time I think of like I want a new necklace, I'll just cut the one or I'll just keep it. I cut one recently that had these guys on it. These little, they're over here. I cut all these Labradorites are ones that I carved. That's all hand carved labradorites down there. And this ruby, that took forever to carve it. This is a neat piece of blue topaz. So what I think I'm going to do today, I'll show you what I've been doing. I have this cord, it's nylon. I have used all different kinds of cord. This is pretty good because it is multi-strand. I believe it's made in the US. And I like to use this too. Let me see if I can get it. Look at this color. This is really pretty. This is for ones that have a smaller size hole. Isn't that a lovely color? And that's from Atwood Rope. Pretty nice and tight with the weave, but that's a great color. I have it in a few colors. It's a little bit smaller diameter, and this is good for holes that are like, you see that? That's pretty good. And what you do with this type of material is you get a lighter. Where's that lighter? And you burn the edge and make a little needle. And sometimes I will use fray check on this too. So if you've seen my knotting videos, it's the same concept. Same concept. Oh, and I wanted to show this. This is my treasure trove right here. Check this treasure out. This is beads I've been collecting. Same thing with this. It's a lot right there. These are glass. Oh, that's not a glass bead. This is an ancient ammonite. Okay, let's see. And this was from a little boutique in Brooklyn, and I saved it to do this because this is kind of fun to do, y'all. If you can imagine, look at this big piece of snakeskin agate. This is pretty much impossible to find anymore, and they call it that because of the outer material. It's kind of like a gobi stone where you get that kind of patterning. Looks like a snakeskin. I have another piece of it over here that looks really good. Oh, there's one here. Gotta look really closely to see the pattern. It turns white, but when you wear it, the white is kind of hard to see, and it becomes sort of like the oils from your skin make that patterning kind of invisible. But it has a neat, I don't know if you can see it. It has a neat kind of pebbled there in the kind of in the light. You can see it has that pebbly texture. And those agates, you know, I used to find strand after strand. Now you can hardly even find them anymore. Yeah, this is some of it, like this. Isn't that pretty? They look like they're lacy. Here's another one. And that's one of the things, you know, about shopping a show as opposed to shopping online, because a lot of times people will put stuff online and it's usually, at least for us, it's usually things that we have multiples of, so we can kind of move it. It takes a lot of time to make a listing. So if you make a listing, you kind of want to do something that's going to be, you can have it more than one. So that's why going to a show is pretty ideal for finding beads and things, because that way you can find the unique one-of-a-kind pieces. Oh, I made this glass bead. Oh, I don't know how many years ago. I used to make glass beads all the time. I'm going to start this. I'm going to burn the edge, and then I'm going to start. There's so many things, so many elements to this necklace. It seems like it's easy, but like these beads, to use these, so these are the beads here. I got them in Tucson last year. If you look closely, they have a kind of a sharp edge all the way around here. And I went through and I used a file, and I filed the ones that were on this necklace. And I went in and shined everything with this little piece of automotive. They use this for sanding, right? So I cut one sponge into like 8 pieces. This is a little bit more of a manageable size piece, but it's kind of a good, a fast way to take down. See that kind of shine that's on this? It sort of has its own. And I don't know. I've been handling them, so it doesn't show how grubby they were when I initially found them. So they kind of got handled, and they got a little bit more of a shine on them. But here you could say I matte finished them with this sponge, and I went around the edges so that they weren't so sharp, and my necklace would last a lot longer. Yeah, if I didn't care about that, then I'd just leave it, and then be like, well, when it's time, and it falls apart. I don't usually like to take those kind of. I don't like to do that. This I ended it horrendously. Look, I tied it together and I melted the knot, and that is so gross looking. So don't worry, this is not gonna stay. I mean, look at that, Azalea. It's like one of the worst endings I've ever done. But don't judge me, y'all. I can hide it. I promise.
You just wanted to wear it.
I just wanted to wear it. I was too eager.
It's okay. I mean, it's just yours. I mean, who's gonna be looking at the back? There's nothing going on.
Well, here's a little piece of a fact. Most people see more of the back of your head than the front of your face.
Yeah,
it's true story.
You know what? If they're looking at your jewelry, then they're going to be more drawn in by the beauty of those fancy gems, and they're not going to care about the knot in the back.
Yeah.
But you're a perfectionist, so that explanation means nothing to you.
I know. I just wanted to wear it, y'all. That's what happened. It's my story. Oh, I think there's more comments, and I didn't see them because they're all like gray.
How did that even happen? That's how that was, but that's how it's always looked. Oh my God,
I've been missing so many of them.
That's how that comment section has looked ever since.
Oh my gosh! So you guys, I was so behind because I didn't see it. Usually the chat tells me when there's another person, and now I see that I've been behind. Shannon says that's a steal for Bird's Eye Maple. Oh, I know. And then Clem says, I love cigar boxes. Same. Oh my gosh, I missed so many of these comments.
That was like 20 minutes.
Wendy says, hi, all you crafty people. I'm so behind. Yes. Nilda says, yes. Nice. My husband has some beautiful cigar boxes. They smell delicious. This box does smell good, y'all. Oh, hi, Nancy. Hi, Sandy. Like seeing your treasures. Thank you, my friends. Oh, Cecilia says, I know somewhere where you can buy some nice endings. It's called Green Girl. And Carolyn says, I bought many cigar humidor boxes years ago at the thrift shop. I need to put felt in them now and use them for starring large gemstones. Yeah, this makes a good background. I like it. This is a big old Basha bead. I used to carry her work. They are made with what's called bullseye glass, if you're a glass maker. I don't know if you can even get bullseye anymore. And this one's made by my friend Pat Jordan. And this is one that's also, I can usually tell who made it by the way the holes were drilled. If they're really wonky, then it's either me or a guy named Africa John, who's since passed. You can't get any more of his beads. But look at this one. This was mined by my friend Derek. This was not a cheap date. I know they're like, some of these are made to be centerpiece focal beads, and I stuck them all on this necklace because I was like, you know what I can use today? I could use a fancy gemstone necklace of power. So that's what this one is. It's full of all kinds of my favorite things. This was a bead made by a gal named Helen Bunch out of Detroit, Michigan, that used to make really killer components. And that bead's like a stacked silver bead with a rivet holding an old Dutch opalescence in place. That's pretty cool. Oh, Ann says, yes, bullseye glass is available. That's good news. Clem says, what is that ammonite made from? And ammonite is actually an old sea creature, like a snail. And it had like a little face on it. Like, what'd that face look like? Kind of like a little bit like a cuttlefish almost. The closest relative is the nautilus cuttlefish, I believe. It has a papery outer shell, or I think it's called a paper nautilus. I think it's the closest living relative to it. And that thing is like magical looking. But they have become opalized or agatized. Yes, Clem says, is that a fossil? Yes, it's a fossil. And what they do, you can see where they cut it. So the middle was drilled out. Usually it's filled with something called ironwood or waste material. And here's another piece. I have another one over here. Oh, there's one in this little baggie here. And I like to pick them out. This one's from my friend. You guys might remember. Now I can't think his name now that I'm sitting here looking at his beads. It's going to take me a second. He carves them. And it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, he likes to do these open hole ones. Some of them don't have that. Like if you get them... yeah, I don't know. I've had some more, but you can just see the middles. But a lot of times it's kind of boring in the middle, like usually filled up, and no one wants to go in there and grind that out because it's really hard material. And this means you can use it. It's drilled here and here, so that you can go through and it's like a little charm holder. But they're pretty spectacular if you look at that kind of coloring. A lot of times you'll see cabochons, they'll use, if it's not complete, they'll use like a piece of the flash. Because sometimes it's a little bit rare to find it where the whole thing is completely agatized or opalized. And you can see some of that happening through here, the pattern of the shell itself. I have some where it has ridges, like this one has kind of a ridged pattern on it. It's pretty amazing. And I love the color. You know, it's kind of interesting because this here is Mexican fire opal, and you can see it has some of the same coloration as this agate. Isn't that neat? Like the same, it's completely different stones, but they've become, through time, they've become the same stone. Like this is an agate, this fire agate, and this is also an agate. So this is also from a seabed. So it's kind of neat. It's amazing, actually. It brings me such joy to think about that. All right, so I'm going to put together a necklace. And I'm going to show you how I get these holes prepared. I'm going to put a paper towel down. Maybe I'll scoot that back so I can catch some of this dust. And so what I usually do is, look, if you look down here, let me get this a little bit tighter. You need to go in and do one of these. And then see that it's kind of sticking out. I don't like that story. So I'm going to go in there, and the ammonite on the ammonite is fire. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good times. A lot of really beautiful specimens come from Canada. When we go to Tucson, sometimes there's this place at the Pueblo where the interior has a whole display of ammonites and amylites. And it's pretty amazing. So if you go in and like do this is kind of tedious. My hands were sore all day from doing these right here. It took me forever. And I did like, I don't know how many I did. Quite a few. I should have Azalea doing this part.
What part?
This part. And actually, if you have a Fordham, that's key to this thing. You'd make quick work of that. I'd take that downstairs and hit it with a buffing wheel to get that. So it's not so sharp. I hate that story. So it leaves these little gritty things behind, especially if you use these guys. Hit those little fibers, and then this will catch it. Jeanette says, I love ammonite. I also love it. It's one of my favorites. Sometimes I'll give it a little bit across here to bring out the shimmer. All right, then the next one. It's a tiny bit tedious, but I will do some of these because I want Azalea's necklace, which she's choosing. This is one of her pieces that she's chosen. And maybe she can choose a ruby. I said, you can have this, but this is not for, you cannot sell it because that will take away its powers.
I wouldn't sell it.
Well, I'm just saying, that's how it goes. And many of you have heard that. Like sometimes when you have something like this, it's like you make it and then it's to be worn or given to the next down the line, I guess. If that makes sense. We'll see. There's bolder opal. Might be nice. Might be a pretty effect. Maybe this great big pink one. Not juicy. Might do that. Okay, so where do I put that? How high do you want this? You want a high necklace, low necklace?
I usually like a higher necklace for
Oh,
the
good.
stuff that I wear.
Then I don't have to do like a million of these. If you like all one, you're gonna get a mix because I'm doing a mix.
Yeah.
Mixes.
Whatever you make, I'm gonna like it. So.
Get in there with that. And trim. I know you can imagine. So this neck, you're like, so to make one necklace, you have to go, number one, go find the stones or go to Tucson. Oh, I'm doing it right over top. Like I'm not even paying attention. There. They're kind of these are tricky. I will say they're kind of tricky to design with, though. And this one, I've had it for a long time, and I never made anything because it's kind of like I don't know. I've rearranged that piece many times. This one I've worn for many years, and I cut it up and I make something else with it every once in a while. And it's worth it to do the little extra of this. Now that also, if you didn't want to go all the way up the necklace, you could make it where it's adjustable by just adding, say, 3 or 4 and then tying it off. But I will put, you want some glass beads?
Yes.
You can choose if you want to choose some.
I think I put some over there.
Glass?
A pink one, and I think I put like 2 pink ones on there.
Show me. Is this it?
I liked that, but I think I grabbed this one right here. Because you said I could grab like 1 or 2, and then I grabbed this one, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Those might be Donna's. I think this is Donna's, though. Donna Conklin. She makes these nice looking spacers. I'm not sure if that looks familiar, but a lot of glass bead people make those. So not this brown one. I took those apart and you didn't want them?
No, I do. I like all
the brown ones.
I like all of those glass beads.
Oh, I see. Those are nice and small. I think that would look good. I'll put that ruby on there with it. For luck. Maybe one of these red heart, or one of these eye beads. That's pretty fancy right there. That's a fancy bead. Fancy, expensive bead. Same with this. You can't get those anymore. Maybe you can on eBay. Check this one out. That's Moldavite, actually. I know, crazy, huh? I know it's a Derek bead because his beads are always precision. They look like glass almost. They shined so hard you could see your reflection. So this is Pat Jordan, I can tell. It's kind of matte finish or satin. He didn't ever. Oh, Clem says close up of Azalea's nails, please. That's true. Get in there and show it, little daughter.
I think I did this last time.
Doesn't matter. Oh, and you can show that ring. I was going to take orders on that.
Oh, hold on. I can't tell what I've got in there.
Beautiful.
And then my knitting ring that Mom gave me.
It's a prototype.
I'm using it right now.
Good. It works.
It fits my finger perfectly.
What do you guys think? Is too much red? Maybe we'll mix and match. Or do you think it should be like this?
I like red and purple and green.
Let's see. That's Peruvian opal. It's hard to find. Abby said, I need to do this for my daughter. Hey, we want to do nails. We were going to talk about doing makeup. I just got this set for a little daughter.
A little eyeshadow palette.
I said, I used to be pretty good at makeup. Making this for a little daughter here. I think she will like it.
I'm very excited. I have my special jewelry box.
Alex says, love those nails. And Mom says, that ring is awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Clem says, wow, your hands are an entire universe.
Thanks.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Now I want to do mine. I used to do my nails all the time.
These are pretty good length because they're not like getting in the way, you know.
Check out this hand-carved chalcedony bead. It's one of my prized pieces. Isn't that beautiful? I love this bead. Shannon says, I love Peruvian opal. Okay, any opal. Same. Anything that's even in opal category. Opalized. I like it. So this is called Holly Blue Agate. Or no, this is, no, that's right. Holly Blue has a kind of a weird purpley, and it's not an opal, but it has an opaly look. Yeah, look at this juicy, juicy piece. That's Peruvian opal, but really high grade, I think. Super high grade. This is also some, but it's a little on the softer pink because it's kind of jelly-like if you look close. This is more of the sky blue variant. Isn't that pretty, that coloration? Hello, Nancy. Hello, hello. Morphing design. Azalea, do you use for knitting? It's a knitting ring. Yeah, Melly says never too much red. I don't know if you can show how to use it. Like if you could maneuver yourself over here or lean in and show how you use it. Is that possible? She's making a, like if you show how you're using it, that'd be pretty cool if you lean in.
Okay. I'll make my way over there. Gotta get past the baby. Here he is. Oh, wow, it's a big cat. Dang, gonna knock stuff over. Of course.
Here's one light down. Back on.
Okay.
Okay, she's gonna lean in. We'll use this as a background for a second.
Okay, so I'm knitting a Victorian shawl. This is the back side. It's out of this like brown wool, and so here's how the ring on my I knit continental, so I put it around my pinky finger and then I just put it around the mushrooms like this, and it works pretty good for tension and for like, because you know, especially with yarn that's kind of a little bit rough, it can burn your finger when it's rubbing along there super hard. So this works. And then I can knit really fast, and it just kind of slides over the top of my finger because my hands are kind of sweaty right now, so it's moving a little slower.
Mm-hmm. So I made this for the express purpose of not getting rug burn on the top of my finger here. I know people will say, hey, that's a badge of honor, but I just want to enjoy life. I don't want to have like some kind of...
I'm knitting so poorly while I'm on the screen.
Oh no, I thought it looked good. I thought
everything's
it
like tight and crunched up.
But it looked good. Thank you for showing it, little daughter.
Yeah, it's good showing it, but we don't have any out to sell.
Mm-hmm. I know. I want to make some. I think I could make them again. I just haven't made them for production. I know people asked me to order or to do it, and I just haven't done it. It's on my things to do list. I would love to make it in something that's not so cost prohibitive.
Could be Shibu.
Could be Shibu. Could be. I would.
Shibu would make it the most. It would be too soft.
But it's so hard, and
you would want it to.
You want it to be a little tiny bit flexible, I think.
But then the Shibu would be so magical. With something like this, like it would add. Every time I knit with this, I feel like it makes my project more magical.
So Carolyn says, are you planning to have a new supersized dip with large and unusual gem beads from Tucson? That's a good idea. I have not done that recently. Oh, Anne says, I want one of those, especially with the mushrooms. I'd use those to crochet necklaces. Oh, brass, that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, maybe I was thinking about that one being a good candidate to be sent to Greece to have it produced, because I could then sell it for a lot less money. You know, it doesn't have to be, because in silver or in the other materials, you're looking at the labor. The labor is what makes it, because it has to be done, you know, so you have the mushrooms and they don't just pop right out of the mold. You've got to go in there and apply them in the wax, and that takes a minute. So it'd be nice if I could figure out a good way to do that. And I think the fashion or the Another Greek. The tiara cast, I meant to say. They can do it. I just have to get enough people. And I think that's what I'll have to do is do like a pre-order or something, you know? Maybe I'll do this side going into purple. That might be pretty. Look at this one. Isn't that juicy? Brass. Yeah, brass might be a good option. That might be a really nice option. Maybe this one would be better. I like this. It's kind of a nice piece of rhodochrosite. Look at this purple. That's a delicious piece of holly blue. It's kind of a beautiful purple. Nancy says we could paint them our favorite colors. Yeah, well, you know what? You can, the samples that I got were like plated. So you could have them plated. Like this is a, you could get them like 24 karat gold plate. You can get it silver plate. There's a bunch of different coatings, which would be, pretty nice, I think, to have a delightful coating. That one would be good. Maybe a hair smaller. I've been collecting these for a lot of years. I'm a little, that's one of the things about doing shows that you don't get to see your favorite people. Since I don't do hardly any shows anymore. Like bead shows, I mean. We do other kind of shows, just not the same. Or it's like, like bead shows, I guess. It's a different universe. It's fine, though. What do you guys think? Is that a good, this plan here? Anne says, I saw that Tracy Prater is going to be in Tucson representing the company that purchased TierraCast. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Lil Red Amanitas. Oh, yeah, that is. This is, this I don't think is, actually, I can't tell. To put my glasses on. This might be an old red heart. And if it is, then that's an expensive bead. Seem like, I should find that out. Maybe dig it out if it is. That'll be nice if they're going to represent. I like that story. Maybe I'll do this big one here. A little bit more juiciness to it. But it has kind of a small hole. Oh, thanks, Pamela. Pamela says, that's a beautiful combination. Look at this big pink tourmaline. Oh, no, this is not. This is lepidolite. I almost missed it. See that sparkle on the edge? That is lepidolite. Let me see if I can find a good. I had a piece out the other day where I was thinking maybe I'll carve some of that. And that's like this too. No, that's sugilite. Had a shampoo shimmer, sugilite. That's how I tell them apart. This is also a little bit of that. Would they be adjustable? I think I would like to be. Oh, Shannon says, pinkish red with white dots is a skunk bead, trade bead. Yes. Oh, Karen says, I see silver hit $100 this week. That's not good. I'm waiting for that to go down. Waiting for that number to go down. Some people think it won't. But you know what? They also said that when it went sky high to like $60. I don't know if y'all remember that, but then it dropped again. I mean, it didn't happen overnight, but it did eventually drop. So, I don't know. Let me see. What am I doing here? That might be kind of cool. I do like changing up shape. Morphing Design said, how did the guy at Dip do? Are they soon on their way to new homes? Yes, has always been shipping all week. Now, remember, just a reminder, if you ordered pewter or if you said, hey, can you combine for me? Or if you in the past have asked for things to be combined, sometimes
I got the pewter in last night and I filled a bunch of pewter orders today, so everything should be going out. And
yeah, a little bit
I'm
faster.
working on it a little every day. There's only me doing it, but yeah, the guy dips are going out. I just have to start at the bottom of the list and work my way up so I can get everything out in a timely manner. That's why it kind of takes a minute, but it's coming. Don't worry, y'all.
It's good news. Good news. This is the fun part for me. I don't know about for y'all, but I love rearranging these beads. It's weirdly fun. I don't know why. It just is. To make them into like a neat matrix of color. I never get tired of making these. Let's see, more red. We'll put that red right in here, but it does have a small hole, so I don't love that story. Maybe we can tuck this one in. She liked that glass bead. It's kind of fun, isn't it? That dichro. Dichro, you have to be. Oh, Allie says I got mine and love it. Thank you. I love that story. I love hearing when people like it. It makes me very happy. Delight. You can see if you look at this, I was like, I guess I have a tendency to go for, like, this is butter jade, or not butter, butter jasper, I meant to say. What? I have a butter jasper right there. Oh, did that spark some joy?
I do like those.
She does like those. She does, in fact, like butter jasper. Here's another little piece. Isn't this cute? Oh, no, this one might be gaspiite. A little bit of a difference. Maybe the same. This one seems brighter to me. Like a hair more yellow. Gaspiite is a bright green. Almost like, I don't know if I see any in here. Oh, look at this one. Clem says, that's my therapy and is the only way that I stay sane. I hear you, because if you're like, I don't know how some folks, I have a friend that she's constantly monitoring the news. And at the same time, she has all these health problems. And I said, and this is, I'm not going to act like I'm a healthcare provider or anything. But I was like, sometimes taking on all the sorrows of the world can kind of affect you adversely because, we're not meant to take that much on, I don't think.
Our brains are designed for a village.
Yeah, I don't think that's, you do what you can for, like, how can you, I don't know. It's like, I'm not saying don't care, but sometimes, care about your local things and do what you can for as many people as you can, do what you can. But don't try and, like, I think she just, like, knowing a thing, like, having the information in her mind, she's I feel guilty if I don't look. And so that's true. You can. A lot of people, and I do sometimes feel guilty about not looking. But sometimes you've got to look for your own mental health and not, keep on. It's like staring at the sun. It's like you're going to get, your eyes are going to burn. And it's going to, I feel like sometimes that can affect your thoughts too. It's like it sticks with you. Sometimes it's good to just take a break. I love this. I look at my collection, it's like majority Peruvian opal. Or some kind of opal. Look at this one, I carved that. This is one of my best carvings. Look, it's like a spider web of rutiles across there. Nice, huh? Lime green gaspiite, yes. When it's so close to home, it's very stressful. It's all very stressful. All the stuff that's happening in the world, like everything I look at, I'm like, man, get those beads out and start holding them. Like almost like a kind of like old-fashioned, the way people used to do with prayer beads. The act of sorting. It hits a primal part of your brain. The act of what I'm doing now of sorting and looking at color and shape and deciding, hey, where's this going to go? Is this going to go in this combined mode? This piece of tourmaline is really juicy. I think that's true. Oh, no. I see the shine from this angle and a little bit of blue. So that tells me that's probably a green kyanite, I would say. That schiller right there and that type of, that spark of deep navy, that tells me that it's probably a green kyanite. Carolyn says, we unfortunately get all the terrible news stories that gives people anxiety. Yeah, every time I open up something, I have to kind of choose 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 what I look at. And I know that's kind of, that took some doing for me. I had to really get like edit the heck out of my phone and do all these maneuvers because you know what? They want like it's more profitable if people are on their phones scared and worried and buying out of fear. You're easily, you're not just having, you're not just relaxed and living your life. You're more like, I don't know. I think if I'm like, I think of the times when I was looking at the news with COVID and everything and how hard that was to try and stay on top. I just felt like you're never going to have all the things that you need to hear. You're never going to have that what you want. It's never going to happen. This was a really pretty piece here. Look at that. My friend Pat, when he did his beads, I can always tell his because he beveled the heck out of the inside, and it hides the knots. So when you're stringing, those knots get pulled in. Like this is a kind of flush knot or a flush hole edge. It's not beveled in deep, and your knots will sit outside of it. But when they're tucked in, it's kind of fun. I can always tell his beads. I'm like, oh, that's one of his. I'm like, this is not one of his. That is for sure not. That's a friend of ours that Twin Cranes. If that's not a blast from the past. And Twin Cranes also did this. Isn't this cool? This is called Leland Blue. It's actually kind of a slag byproduct. And slag is a type of glass. This is a byproduct from like the Ford company. Called it, what's that called? They call it Leland Blue. I got a few pieces in here. From the area. I think it's in Michigan. But it's neat because it's 100%. It's like an American byproduct that they can turn into something pretty. And that's like, this is kind of like choose your own adventure. You can wear it this way or this way. Oh, just the fear of running out of beads. Yeah, I hate that story. And then Karen says, we need protection with our gems and beads and creativity to escape sometimes. Yeah, I hear that. I made this I called it like spirit armor. So when I put them on, I always think today is going to be an amazing day. And when I'm wearing it, nothing bad can happen. And I just say it. It's like kind of like a mantra. Nothing bad can happen when I'm on these. And it's almost like some people would say, oh, well, that's like giving yourself, it's like superstition. I said, well, isn't superstition the poetry of living? I mean, in some ways. You do the little things that you do. There's no rhyme or reason why you do it. Or maybe like it's like bad luck to step under a ladder. That makes more sense because like something could fall on you. That's like common sense, superstition. You want to take a peek at this gathering of stones and see what you think, little daughter?
Okay, hold on. I'm right in the middle of this.
She's right in the middle of a row. I want to add more to this. Maybe you can end in a yellow. That could be a good counterbalance to this saturated sort of purple. Are they gemstones? Love slatin. It's considered a type of gemstone, like semi-precious. It's not super as far as like the value. It's in there with like trade beads because it has its value, like a historical value. And
I like that story. I like
what
that
do you
pink
think?
and purple.
What do you think? Should go in and go yellow at the end? Because I could do it where I have a little bit of that butter. Yeah, it looks like Gatsby for me. I thought it was more like butter, but you know what I mean? It's not as yellow as like butter jasper. I could go that direction. What do you think?
Yeah, into yellow and then into green.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That looks like peridot right at the end there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Look at that pretty piece of peridot. Or look at this, that green. See if I can sneak that in there. Sometimes it's good to have a nice segue stone, something orangey. Maybe like this can go here. This is the fun part. You can go in there. Nancy says, I predict that she'll love it. Melanie says, I have some Sumatra amber coming. So excited. That's cool. You know what is interesting? This amber that I have in my box is from this is from Russia. My friend Claudine, her dad worked on the Moscow airport. He's the airport or air, what do you call it? Some kind of architect that makes airports. I don't know if it's very specific. But her family was gifted a bunch of amber, and she was like, I don't know what to do with it, so she gave it to me. And this was part of it. This was part of it. Really big, long necklace. And this is what I have. I have some more hidden somewhere, but I drilled these out extra. They good. So juicy. Oh, Michelle says, late again. Sunday is a normal work day for me. We'll catch up on replay. Hi, Cynthia, Azalea, and Marty. Hello, hello. Carolyn says, if you go to Tucson, can you check out carved flower gemstones? Yes, because that's one of my all-time favorite things to get. And I always keep my eye open for it because it's a rarity, because it's one of those things that I like carved stones in general. Like these are ones from my friend Pat made these ages ago. But look how they're carved with little spirals. Isn't that cool? This one is actually pretty neat because it's a Petoskey stone. You see that like patterning on the back? This one's labradorite. You can see that the edge. And this is a kind of agate. Ooh. I just found some tourmaline carved flowers. All right. I may have enough to bead up to start stringing this. I didn't put that bead on there that you wanted.
Which one?
That glass bead. It just went all gemstone. Needs a good segue between here. Maybe this agate. Or one of these. Look at that. It's really pretty. Sometimes I don't really match it that great, but it's okay because sometimes you just want to look at this little juicy nug. This is one Derek did. He made all these little opals, and these were not a cheap date. They were like no less than like $25, $30 for the little ones. So the big ones, this one's Twin Cranes made this one. I can't think. It was a husband-wife team, but it's kind of interesting, which is like this bead, which is synthetic opal, lab-grown opal, was more expensive than any of my other opal in here. Isn't that weird? Nancy says Petoskey. Those are those stones from Lake Superior. Ooh, Nancy got a Basha. I got plenty. I want to show off my Basha beads collection. It's pretty delightful. I think I had some sitting here. You want to see some of these delicious goodies? Oh, who was the winner, Zoe? Let me remember that before I forget again. So I keep forgetting to announce who got these.
Cecilia,
and
Debbie Barnett.
They won this one. Sorry, I forgot the other day when I was going to announce it. It kept slipping my mind. But y'all, that's from TGBE.
One of those is from that.
Yeah, so there you go. Shance's necklace is looking good. Really like the red heart. You know who made that? I did. I used to make glass lampwork back in the day. Those were my top sellers, were those hearts. So just a reminder, I pick from the comments section. That's what happens. Comments section, we pick from there, and it's pretty cool. I don't have the comment picker that I used to have from StreamYard. Now, if I want it, it's like $30 extra. I'm like, I'm not paying that. So these are Basha beads. Allie says, is it just me, or does that lepidolite detract from the beautiful heart? So yummy. And Melanie says, congrats, ladies. This big lepidolite. You know what? Now that you said that, I'm going to agree with you. That great big lepidolite. I take your meaning, because it is bigger. And it is. So that kind of does work away from that one. I have a smaller one that I could put in there. Let's see if that changes things. There's a little bit smaller, or I could go in. You know what? Listen, the cream on that tea. Oh, so I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get ginger cream tea. Look at the cream layer. Coconut cream tea. It's a ginger tea. It's so good. So hard to find. If you have an Asian food store and you can get it, then stock up, because for everybody else, it's pretty expensive. It used to be $10 a bag, and now it's 20. I know. I'm just telling you the way it is. Abby says, I would love to buy one of your hearts. Abby says, I can't believe you did lamp work too. Long ago.
I'm next.
Long ago.
I'm next. I'm going to make some good ones. I'm going to make some raspberries with a face.
I have all the stuff. I have this little paddle that we made out. I can't remember what it was made out of. It was pretty fun to make it. Bob Burkett helped us make this paddle specifically for faceting that, like my glass beads. So it's like this little pointy carbon thing made out of graphite or some such. It's been a long time, but pretty fun. Oh, that's a good mix. It's a good segue. This one right here, that little agate, I feel like did it. Maybe it goes this way. I don't know. That's part of the fun, is doing these ombre striations and getting the one that just fits perfectly and makes the whole thing sing. You know, I would love, it's funny that I thought that I would string this, because this necklace took me like half the evening to put together. I will probably, let me see. Oh, it's already been an hour. So I didn't even get to the stringing part, just rearranging this stuff. And I showed how I do the I don't know what you call it, the tidying up of the holes on this so they don't tear up the cord, because if you leave them, they're pretty sharp. So we talked about sanding those, and it takes me about 2 minutes to do each one. So I didn't want to do all of them in one go. I did like 3 here. Let's see what I'm planning here to get this type of effect. And these are what I call necklaces of power. And so I'm not doing this in the more traditional way. I'm looking at them like kind of like those amulet necklaces you may have seen in like that book Amulets or Body Armor. There's a book called Body Armor filled with pictures of amulets and things. I chose this based on like when I held the stones, how did they feel in my hand? How did they work with the other stones? And also, did they work with the color? That was the other thing that I was looking at. So that's, in my mind, they kind of work together. This is reading really electric blue. Under the light, it really matches well with this. Under natural, like the light I have in here, but I'm looking at this on the computer, and it doesn't look like the shift is very strong. But and like this looks almost black, but in my light, it's a kind of like a dioxide purple. So kind of interesting how things can read on a computer monitor. And like this looks really dark, but in my light, it's an evergreen, a beautiful green. Oh, thank you, y'all. Definitely need to make a power necklace for my daughter, says Abby. It's good to make them. It's very, very relaxing, if that makes any sense. And Wendy, this is an ammonite. The iridescence is called ammonite when it's not hooked up to the actual stone. The white one, the white shell-looking one. Let me see where. Oh, this. My friend Pat Jordan made this. He carved this. It's a type of quartz. The oblong surfboard shape is particular. You know, I've had this thing for a lot of years, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And it did function for a while as a clasp. But I cut that necklace up. It was a loop. I used it as a loop clasp, and it's a really beautiful piece of. I look at it. It's a very light blue, and I want to say it's not a turquoise. The name of this is it's a very beautiful pale bluish green. I can't remember what that one is. I'll have to look that one up. And this is You can see that shimmer. It's high grade rutilated opal. Labradorite. What is the large stone with all the blues? Labradorite. This is actually a glass bead made by the artist Basha. Basha beads. She hasn't made them in quite a few years. She don't make them anymore. And they're made from bullseye glass, which is a type of a borosilicate. And now if you want them, pretty much nobody has them. Nobody. I went through a while ago and I was like, maybe I'll just buy some and see if somebody has them on eBay. I could not find them. So I used to use them in my jewelry, and she used to send me mailbox priority boxes filled with these, and we used to do what's called a pick box. And the pick box was good because then I could pick what I wanted, and then I'd send the rest back. But usually what happened was I'd pick them all out, and then I just pay for them all. But they look like this. This is a type. And the kind that I liked was called, it's the Labradorite style. That's my favorite. It's a type of a gray bullseye mixed with dichroic glass. So dichroic glass, this is dichro right here. It's super tricky to work with because if you heat it too much, you can see this black glass. It's sold in strips, or it's sold flat, like you can use it in stained glass. But in the use of bead making, you cut it into little strips and you heat it up on the torch, and you have to work very gingerly and not add too much heat, because if you put too much heat on it, it goes away and just looks like white, like kind of scummy, like a kind of like on, if you're making broth and you skim that surface off, that's what the bead will look like. So you have to be very delicate in your addition. I'm excited to get I'm not there where I'm ready to use dichroic, because it's kind of like, you know how they say you never forget riding a bike? Well, the skills for glass bead making are such that it takes finesse. It takes a lot of finesse. I'm not going to leave this. This bead is one I traded with a gal from Japan. And if you looked closely, let me see how close I can get. It's such fine work. It's on stripes in there. I don't know if you see them, but it's a millefiori that's really delicate and beautiful. Like there are stripes, like a gooseberry bead on the petal of the flower. It's really, really beautiful. Oh, kept them all? I did keep them all. And Abby says, but I think I see why. I did keep them. I kept all of them. And Abby says, I hope you make more lamp work, just a little. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's one of my most favorite things to do. And I told Liz, I said, once that's locked in, because I have everything on my glass tables already, but I have one last task to do, which is put everything together, put all the torches, and then the last task is cleaning all the glass. And a friend of mine was helping me organize, and they didn't realize that the glass had to be separated, so they mixed together Japanese soft glass with bullseye, with Pyrex. They mixed all the glass together, and it's in 2 under the bed containers. It's a lot of work. and then the lid got left off of it for a time, so it got dusty. So it has to all be cleaned with Windex and then rearranged. And that's like a whole day's worth of work. And that's why I haven't done it yet, just because of that. And Nancy says, make some Basha beads, please. You know, I did. I was trying to make her goal was try to make old Roman glass. And if you've ever seen old Roman glass, it's pretty flippin' magical. And do I have a piece in here I can show you? Oh, I do have a good piece. So this is what everybody's trying to get when they're trying to do that. Well, not everybody. I don't know if people have seen this to try and get it. But this is the type of effect I'm going for when I'm trying to make these pieces. So it's like, you can see the similarities. It's on a matte bead with this sort of patina. Now, this patina happens over the course of millennia. So, and it's really hard to fake. Although I did make some polymer clay fake, and it was not quite this good, but getting there. And I found a way to make on glass beads to look similar-ish. If you know what I mean. If that makes sense. His eyes kind of like, what are you talking about, Mom? Anyway, that was that piece. And this is another one. This just came off of a vase. It's a piece of old Roman glass right there, and it was drilled on this side. This was found in what used to be basically their trash, old landfill that was found in Afghanistan after a sandstorm. Oh, here's one that's not. Here's an ammonite that has not been. There's a little bit of, see the color here, the color play? Isn't that really beautiful? But it's not, see how it's filled in? And it's really hard to get that spiral shape to come out. So usually what they'll do, they'll either leave it or just drill it through because it's kind of not that impressive. And this one's drilled. Where is it drilled? Oh, drilled this way, top to bottom. So it would hang like this or like this. What else is in here? Here's another one. Yeah, see, that's like ironwood, how it fills it in. I don't like that either. But, it's a big nuisance to get that out. So a lot of times they just leave it. And they just put this whole thing on a lap grinder. And it has, the ammonites have all this kind of, what they call host rock. And that is all the way around. And sometimes only one part will be sticking out like this. They'll see that if they crack open the whole piece of I can't think of the name. Sometimes it's one is called iron rock because it's got iron colored, but it's almost like a mud deposit. They find a lot of them off the coast of England. Oh, this is a little piece of meteor. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's it as far as old Roman glass. But I do have quite a collection upstairs of the little bottles. I'll show those at some point, and that'll be fun. I was going to use those little bottles to make a cage, and then from that little cage, I was going to put them in there like a little flower type sculpture, and I didn't get a chance to finish that. I just bought like $500 worth of tiny old Roman glass bottles a few years ago. We'll see if I get around to making anything with it. It's a pretty one, kind of a drop. I wonder if that's even drilled. Oh, it is drilled right at the top. Abby says, I would love to go dig up some stones somewhere. Same. That seems like the most fun. Wouldn't it be fun if we went on a dig, y'all? There's our local gem club is doing a dig in, I think, somewhere near South Carolina. I'm not sure, but it's our gem club is called High County Gem and Mineral Society. I think they just changed the name. Anyway, it would be pretty fun to go on one of the excursions. It's going to take me a minute. I thought I could get this done, but I am not ready to string yet, especially since I have to go through and bore out these holes. But what I was going to say about that is if you want to use this type of thread or cord, it's really good because it doesn't, even if it does snag, what you can do is you can hit it with a lighter and kind of melt it back into place. So I like to do this several times. It's a little bit warm. Maybe do it outside if you accidentally catch the whole thing on fire. But I'm just melting the very end and dragging it a little bit, pulling and dragging. And that way it makes kind of a needle. And it makes it a little bit stiff too. High County Gem and Mineral Group. I believe so. I can drop the link. They dig lapis and turquoise in the desert here. I want to do that. It sounds like fun. I found the information to do opal mining in Idaho, and I want to go to that. So you do that a few times till you get this. You can go over the edge with a little fray check, and I usually do about this much. This takes forever to dry when it's on this thick. It takes like 10 minutes. I mean, I guess it's not forever, but it's forever to me. But I made this a little bit stiff. It's better if you can get it more stiff so it easily fits through these guys. And because otherwise doing this with this thing, like kind of like having to deal with that is kind of a nuisance. But that actually went on there pretty easily. But I'm going to do silver. I'm going to do a bunch of them in silver. Maybe multiple colors. I did it mixed material. It's harder to get through this little silver ones because the metal is much thinner, and it's the edges. I didn't do a very good job on this one, so it's catching. See, it's like it doesn't want to go through. I'm twisting it and trying to get through there, and then you pull it from the other side. But if I go over the edge and really use this file, or the buffing wheel downstairs might be the fastest bet. Or if you have like a Ford, just hit the insides. So if you have the African traders, they make tie beads that are very similar to this, about half that size, and they work really good. It'd be nice to find a less expensive version than this. These are kind of expensive, but you can see what I mean. Like if you put a little bit of the fray check, it'd make this job like 10,000 times easier. Because then it's a little stiffer and you can push through a little bit. Abby says 10 minutes really is forever when waiting to string some beads. Exactly. And Bonnie says hole placement and size is everything. Yeah, that is true. And it's hard to decide when if you're going to carve a bead, like where do you even, like how do you know? Like this one's pretty interesting. This is a Derek Lusk bead as well, or pendant. And it has since crazed. That's when you can see how there's a little bit of that little crazing. Hopefully this never falls apart or I will cry. But look at that color. This is an opal too. And I love this color. Oh no. You know what I want to do? I want to do this with it. I want to put it with this one. Like this. Is this too crazy? Is that too much? Is it over the top? Because I feel like it's like they're kind of like futuristic because they're faceted. Isn't that funny? You know, one time we went to that party, the Swarovski party, and it was so crazy. It was like intergalactic, and it had gems. The crystals were everywhere, and this shape was really popular. That's what made me think of it. It's like this shape, and they had the big swag bag was a crystal this long, golden shadow. It was awesome. I was so delighted to get a swag bag. It was like a really weird party. They had a gal walking around with one of those bandoliers with little pockets on that, with a bandolier, but it was for shots. I was like, I have never seen anyone actually do that. But there you have it. It was at the party in like 2004 or something. It's pretty cool. Let me see. Nancy says, can you put some glue or resin into the crazed area? You know, yes, that I could put what's called Hextal. It's HXTAL, and it is made for stabilizing gemstones. Like when you see turquoise, it's a stabilizer. And so you soak the gemstone in it, and it makes this almost like matte finish on it, and then you, I guess, buff it off. I didn't try it, but because it's not a cheap date, it's like $50 for like maybe triple this amount on each side. It looks like an epoxy to me. I don't know if what's the chemical makeup of it, but it looked like it gave it a neat kind of matte, kind of satin finish. And they use it to keep stones chance of loose. Hextol, thank you, Nancy. Is that light blue and boulder opal? Light blue. I have boulder opal in here, but that one is not. This is not boulder opal. This is boulder opal. I see what you're saying. Yes, this is also from my friend Derek Lusk. He liked to do these landscapes. I have a few of these. They're really fantastic. Really precision work on his work. Really detailed. It looked like almost like an equation. Oh, it looks like we keep losing the stream. I just saw a thing that says, hey, you're losing the stream.
Well, that's good timing because we've been on for an hour and a half.
Okay. Or you can make a special cap. Yes, I could see. Yeah, I could see that. I haven't done it yet, but it's on my list of things to do. All right, so I think the next time we see each other, I will by then have these enough to finish Azalea's necklace, completely polished and ready to go, and I'll have this saturated and made into a needle so I can poke through all these little gemstones to finish her heart necklace, for her necklace of power. I think this one will be pretty special. All right, my friends, I'm going to flip that camera around. If I can find a place to get in there. Man, there's too much stuff on the table. All right. Oh, Wendy says that boulder opal is gorge. I would agree with that statement. It's a delightful boulder opal. Let's see how fast he makes it. Drag that baby. He's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Clem. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate everybody that has tuned in today. Y'all are making the dream happen for us, and we appreciate it. For everyone that tunes in, everybody that likes and shares and saves, all that, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Keeps this guy in churros. Oh, there you go, little buddy. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Melanie says, thank you for showing us this. Abby says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. I look forward to all the lives and watch them over and over just to soak it all in. Thank you so much. Karen says, this live was so fun and eye-opening for new designs. Cecilia says, this was fun. Love you both. Marty is so snuggling. Yes. Shannon says, thanks for the treasure tour. Oh, listen, you guys didn't even see some of my glass beads that Azalea brought down. She wanted to show those off. Oh, he made quick work that time. He wasn't lingering around that time. He was fast with it. Little Marty. Mama's little freshborn. Allie says, thanks for the icon candy. Gotta go. Well, thank you all so much. And it's always the highlight of my week getting together with y'all. We will see you on Wednesday. And y'all stay warm in this snowstorm. Hopefully it stays mild for us. It's been very mild and easy. Oh, Nancy says, I can't wait to see your knitting progress. Oh, wonderful. It's always like she's such a fast knitter. So fast. Carla says, it was good to be back in your audience tonight. I was staining a scroll work frame. Hope to be back again soon. Carla, thank you for joining us. Thank you, guys. All right. I am going to sign off and put on some Midsummer Murders and relax a little bit and work on this necklace. Okay, guys. See you all later.